Today is July 1st, 2023, and Fig Tree is recovering and has two good-sized figs on it. Startled me when I looked up. I was like, ooh, nice. And the zinnia is, we got a few good days of rain, and the temperatures have finally settled out. Oh, I think I see a hole in my strawberry. The birds got it. I don't think my elephant ear likes it here. I don't know what's going on there. Aphids are still a problem. And my pot is still suffering. Probably needs a little fertilizer at this point with all the rain that we did have. Lime, and apparently ginger root and a zinnia. One of the Lemon Queen zinnias from Baker Creek finally came up. So here's my lemon tree with a volunteer or several volunteer ground cherries in the pot. This was a wonderful doing by the squirrels or chipmunks some years ago, and every year fruit falls in there and ground cherry comes up. I never have to start a seed again. Lemongrass. And this elephant ear is faring a little bit better, but these flowers are starting to look tired. I think they definitely need a dose of the fish emulsion, a little nitrogen boost. They look way greener on camera than they do in person, just to say that. Yeah, they definitely need some fertilizer. Down on the lower level, have a few plants that still needs to go in the ground. These four I just bought from Proven Winners. These were clearance at Lowe's. And down here I have this ready to start some seeds for fall. And these are some flowers I started in the spring that still haven't really done anything. I really think I need to put these in the shade. They are a shade-loving plant, and they're not thriving over here. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that today. My green stalk is just about empty at this point. I'm really not utilizing my space very well. I could be planting basils and other things, but all I have here right now are peas and strawberries. There are some beans in here and the parsley, but this was primarily lettuce and it's all done right now. See? Bird damage. And I have quite a few tomatoes. This is a Patio Choice yellow. And the other one that is a little bit more upright is a Patio Choice red. On this side of the house, the Veronica has is well past its prime, and I'm going to go ahead and cut them back, likely this weekend. The lemon balm that I cut all the way back after it was damaged is coming back. I am going to pull these daylilies up. The aphids have really wrecked them. Like, I have no blooms on this one. The blooms just dry up and fall off. Same thing with the ones on the front. But I have one down here that looks way worse than this one. But I think I'm going to pull that up and replace it with something a little more, what is the word? Reliable. The bunnies ate the top off of my clematis, but I believe it's down there still. I think I was rooting around and it's still alive, but barely. And this rose bush did not like all that rain. All the green growth that it was pushing out just kind of dried up. And the bugs or bunnies or something are really having a field day with this David Austin rose. And this is the second best looking of the three. This is the worst. And over here, we have the best looking one. I guess maybe it's because it's hidden. So here is the daylily that needs to go. In a regular season, they don't look that great after they have bloomed or even in the blooming process. But this is nuts. This has to go. I have to cut these back, and I might actually have to divide this. Probably gonna, yeah, I'm gonna leave that because I'm gonna decrease the size on that. I'm also going to decrease the size on this. When this lily is done blooming, I'm going to move it and put it over here with the other one. And, or over on the other end where I'm pulling that plant out. The hardy hibiscus took and might even put some blooms out over here on this side of the house. Susinias are doing good. The dahlia is looking good. And this is past its prime for sure. Yeah, and I think I'm going to take this daylily out as well. Yeah, I'm not loving the look. This year, they've literally all suffered. They all look ridiculous. And one of the hardiest plants that should be in my garden looks the worst. The sedum. They still look pretty pathetic. I'm not sure where else I could put them, but I am going to move them probably on the stone wall in the back. Yesterday, I sprayed them off to try and get some of the ants off of them because I think they were farming aphids, but alas, they are back. This clematis is still going, looking beautiful. My lava flare hydrangea is blooming. My mystic spirus penstemon is done blooming, but I'm gonna drop these seeds at the base and hopefully I get a nice new start of plants next year. And I think originally this plant was somewhere here along the edge and I moved it. I think I'm gonna move it back over to this location for the fall after these things are done blooming. It doesn't get as tall, and all these things seems to be overtaking it, either right in this area or somewhere here along the edge. Maybe grab another one and make a drift of them here at the edge. And this rose bush needs to cut back something serious. And as of late, the bugs have come in and it looks pretty terrible. It's all eaten up. And this heuchera is loving its life right here. And this one that I moved from over there because it was getting overshadowed is now getting overshadowed over here. So, I don't know. I might have to move it again. And this salvia that I need to dig up because it has no space to grow and is not thriving. It's looking pretty good. It's the only purple right now because the other ones are done blooming. So I have to cut that back. There's 3 in there that have to get cut back this weekend. And this is what I'm talking about. The aphids like decimated this plant. I don't even think I'll have a bloom this year. But everything for the most part looks decent. This right here, I'm a week. I went to Home Depot yesterday after watching my YouTuber who went to Home Depot and they had the Bobo hydrangea. I'm weak, so I did purchase the Bobo and it's either gonna be in this spot or I'm gonna move these irises and put it like right in this location right here. I think it's gonna be more over this way. I think it would be ideally best right there because I have those 2 lava flare and they're getting quite big. But the Bobo blooms quicker than the lava flare. I just needed some white in this bed. Like the only white I have here is that variegated plant. I just needed some more white, and I still need some more white, spring white, in this location. So we shall see. And the Japanese beetles are definitely back. Look at the top of my plant. And look at my rose bush. Like literally, I'm gonna take the saw and cut it down to nothing. And let it come back from the base, because I'm not loving the way that's looking. And it was getting too woody at the base anyway. And these are finally looking like plants. They don't look dead and dried up. So the new growth has finally come out, and I'm loving it. See, the bumblebees are always first to the party. I don't believe my sunshine ligustrum is loving its location. I might actually move that more to the forefront. Maybe up here. Yeah, it's kind of shaded. It's not giving me that vibrant green, and I don't think it's getting much of the rain off, because it's kind of underneath the overhang. But it does get kind of big, so I don't necessarily want it in the front of the border. So we shall see. The Pinky Winky is finally putting on its buds. So it seems like it's on the same timing as the lava flare. I mean, they technically look like the same family. And the other day I was watering this pot, and I realized I put an elephant ear in here. And I don't know if it's going to do anything, because look how pretty these are. These are from Baker Creek. There's so many different looks in the one pack. Oh my goodness, it's so pretty. Yeah, so there's an elephant ear in here somewhere. It's probably not going to do anything because no sunshine. And the dahlias haven't even started putting on buds yet. I definitely overplanted this pot, so we shall see how we do because of it. But I believe the dahlias are in the same color family as the petunias at the base there. So the caladium apparently prefer to be in the ground, because look at them. I just planted them like a week and a half ago, and they're looking pretty good. And I also realized that this hosta is not very tolerant of the evening sun that it gets, so I'm going to have to move this and probably put it right there in that empty spot near the downspout, and or move the caladium and put it back there. We shall see. Those pots are still looking good. They would have more blooms, except for the bunny does seem to prefer the pansies. The astilbe, for some reason, is just now opening its beautiful blooms. There is a bug I need to get rid of. And over here, oh, so pretty. And they're still kind of yellow, actually. It doesn't seem like it on camera, but they're actually still quite yellow considering how green hydrangeas usually are. So I am definitely gonna have to get some iron tone. Ooh, look how big my yarrow's getting. And the bunny has been here. I did not do that. Yep. And my mystery plant, I say mystery plant because I'm not sure if it's a limelight or if it's a little lime, because the tag said one thing and the can said one thing. So I don't know. And look at all that fresh growth after I cut back the mountain laurel. Look at all that fresh growth at the base. And look at this astilbe. So this one is a little bit more of a fuchsia, much brighter than this light pink one right here. And this plant is pretty. I'm still not 100% sure if it's a goldenrod, because when I look up goldenrod, this is not what I find. Here's another one of the caladiums. And I did put one back here, but I'm not sure if it survived. Yes, I see a spike. I don't know if you can see it, but I can see it. There it is. And here's the white astilbe. Black-eyed Susan. And this is some other kind of salvia. It looks more purple on camera. In person, it looks somewhat of more of a blue. And look at my, I don't know what bug is doing this. But I gotta figure out where I want to put those. I'll probably keep growing them in pots until they get to the size I need them to be. And looking at this tree, I think I want to take off that lower branch. My maple here. I think I'm going to take off the lower branch, give it some breathing room. And even with the little bit of sun that it gets, it does get a little bit of a sunburn. I mean, it gets sun for most of the day. When I say most of the day, that's not true. Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah, I didn't realize this was so overgrown. I'm going to have to cut this back because I used to have access to my hydrangea right there. And, yeah, I don't currently. Look how beautiful these daylily look. Mine look nuts. I have infested with aphids. But they said that's too much hydrogen. I mean, hear me, nitrogen. Too much nitrogen. And it looks like I need to get out here because my, oh yeah, they're here. The worms. They were not here last week. I gotta come out here before they start on these plants over here, because these plants are way bigger and it'll be harder to control. And here's a Japanese beetle who's about to get squished off camera. I think I might spray that now. It's supposed to be an overcast day because of the smokes from Canada, so I don't know if my plant will burn. This hosta looks pretty good for full sun. Like, look at this. I know we didn't get much rain, but this is just sad. I don't understand it. At this point, I just feel like pulling all of them out. So this is my poblano. This is my shishito, one of them. I have 2 poblanos and 2 shishitos. The okra, they're coming along. Cosmos, this bloom just finished up. More okra. This is, or should be, either Etuda or King of the North bell pepper. And my big broadleaf hydrangea looks good. My coneflower is starting to show a little bit of color. They generally bloom in July, as I now realize. And I finally took the net off of these pots just to let them be free. I'm gonna pull these beans out. As you can see, they're done. So I can make room for my cucumbers, which are down there waiting to take over this little trellis. And my cosmos are looking quite good. And my volunteer pepper, I'm not even sure, but it looks like it might be a bell pepper. When I compost and I just throw things in the ground. Here's another beetle. So pretty. Baby's breath is still blooming. Alyssum is still blooming. I believe the bunny did that. And my lettuces have bolted. And I have some beets that are, well, that one is really ready to pull. And this is a volunteer cucumber, and there's a, I don't know if it will focus, ladybug larva. And I don't know if that's a good ladybug or not, because there's some bugs that look similar to ladybugs, but they're not good. And there's a beetle in here who's about to get smushed off camera. Yeah, so I'm not even sure why I grew peas this year, because I probably have eaten only 2. Like in the past, I had time to harvest them and put them up, but not this year. So see, this needs to go. All my blooms are gone. Aphids wrecked me this year. This is purple potato. I didn't see it flower yet, so I'm not sure. It looks okay, but there was some flea beetle damage. The other potato, which I started later, looks better. This is the seashells variety of the Cosmo. Ooh, my first fully open calendula. These seem to have fared better in regards to the drought and or the aphid situation. And my one volunteer poppy came and went. The day that it opened, there was a rainstorm, so that didn't last at all. My volunteer sunflower is looking beautiful, and I've been composting in place, so disregard the mess. My Jerusalem peas are coming up. After the rain, some more came up. About 5 more came up. And this is the other Cosmo. And I did come through, I'm not sure if I said it on the last video, and cut back these. This is the best looking daylily. I'm gonna leave the ones along this wall, but this is one of the places where I'm thinking about putting the sedum, because sedum doesn't like particularly great soil. Over here at the back of the property, my callaloo is looking good. That definitely needs to cut. I feel like I said that last video, but here I am. Ooh, the noodle beans are starting to climb. And this is my white scallop. And I see a little cucumber beetle right inside the bloom. I see 2 or 1 cucumber beetle, and I'm about to smush him if I could get him. I don't know how well this is going to do, but I might have to move the moon and stars watermelon because it's not getting much sun because of those. I tend to cut back the big leaves to, give it some air and to allow some sun in, because the sun comes from that direction in the evening. And this lemon queen sunflower is way taller than I am. I'm looking up at it. Right now I'm at eye level. And we got way more to go, and it's not even done growing. Oh my. Yeah, it's time to cut callaloo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this bed looks green and plush and amazing. However, and once again, the cantaloupes and melons are shaded out. So, not sure what I'm gonna do there. Oh, here's a beetle who's about to get smushed. Cucumber beetle, that is. And I actually like to come out in the morning because they're still kind of sleepy and lethargic, so it's easy to catch them. So I had planned on putting the Annabelle hydrangeas that I just bought from Proven Winner back here to give this area a little bit more life during the summer, because right now at the beginning of July, there's nothing going on. But in a few weeks, there will be a whole lot going on. All this greenery that you see does blossom and turn into some beautiful yellow flowers that the hummingbirds and the pollinators absolutely love. I can hear a frog. But I think I'm gonna put them on the side of the house where I pull out the daylilies. It must be a resident frog because every time I come over on this side, I hear them. The highway's in the back. Right back there is the highway. Comfrey is looking amazing. Yep, he's somewhere in here. I hear him somewhere in here. And the deer was standing here a couple days ago. I guess he was eating the comfrey. Oh, there's a beetle right there. And he did eat some of the hydrangea. Yes, he did. Ooh, I don't want to scare the frog. I don't want it to jump because I don't particularly care for them. I know they're good for the garden, but I don't care for them. But I must smush that beetle. Ooh, look at these two up here. Oh, see, this is the foolishness. That's why you got to kill them. Look at the top of my plant, how it looks. Oh, jeez. Oh, my God. Look. Look at my plant. And they're mating, trying to populate. You know what? Pause video. All right. I have to come back out here later and cut the tips off of the damaged areas. I don't see any damage on the plum tree, but this tree is too big for me to attack that. They would have to just damage the tree. I can't be bothered. This wild grapevine was taken over. Oh, there's a bunny. Taking over my plants, and crawling into the tree. So I've been cutting that back. Things looking good. I pay a little bit more attention to this area, but obviously not enough. I have to take off some of that yellowing down there at the bottom. I was out here last week and did that, but apparently it's time again. And ooh, now what is this plant called again? I started from seed. I think it's stock. So this must be the white one. I only had a few that lived. Yeah, it is stock. Ooh, this plant is taken off. Lovely. Have a lot of tomatoes coming on the Roma type. This is the Paul Robeson. This is the Thornburns Terracotta. This is the White Tomasel. Barry's Crazy Cherry. Still full of aphids, and I've been trying to work on it, and I've been coming out here just kind of tapping the plants to help with pollination, because all they're supposed to be, you know, like these beautiful giant trusses of tomatoes, but well, this truss looked like it has a lot on there. I don't know if you could see it. There's a truss in here that looked like it has a lot on there. So we shall see. They don't seem to be very plentiful, like you would expect all of these to form, or most of them to form a tomato, but not really. I finally have some fruit on the atomic grape. Actually, quite a bit. So I've been coming out here like in past years and just kind of pollinating, really, like you would do with a vibrating toothbrush, or so I just kind of shake whatever the plant is supported to kind of let down the pollen. Yeah, I definitely have to do some cleanup of the lower branches. The beans are doing great. I'm seeing a poblano back here. I'm seeing a bell pepper right here. And this mystery pepper, I still don't know what it is because it's supposed to be a king of the north. Hopefully the rest of them are true to type. Here's a beautiful basil. And this one pepper is not doing so well. I'm gonna have to move it. I think I'm gonna put it in the bed over there with the callaloo. And the beans are putting on beans. Yep. This is the red slicer, Madame Marmande or something like that. They look pretty good sized. And here go all the cherry tomatoes. We got a lot going on. I have not had a ripe tomato yet. And when I do, it will likely be from the Sun Gold because every year it is the first. They're the first one to put on fruit. And here's a Sweetie 100, which is plentiful. There's a lot of fruit on this plant. Yeah, I need to get out here. It's been very humid. But I don't have time. Work, I tell you. All right, and this is, this elongated one is the Green Tiger. And yeah, that's it, yep. And the chocolate cherry is in here. The chocolate cherry look like it's the only one that has like a wilt thing going on. And that has, those have the spots going on. Nope, this one has some wilt going on. All right, definitely time for tomato cleanup this weekend. Or maybe on the 4th. And my one red sunflower, nothing yet, but it's coming. And I've tried in the past to grow. Okay, so how did this beetle get in there? Apparently my defenses aren't working very well. So this is the Red Russian. And the lacinato is finally coming to the party. And look, guys, my first eggplant flower. So exciting. I tried a couple years ago to grow eggplant. I don't even think I like eggplant. It was just a matter of growing it because I just want to grow all the things, you know. This is a black Krim tomato. Has quite a bit of fruit on it. I cut back most of the lettuce. They're in the fridge because I know it's going to be hot. I should have taken those. And this one nasturtium is doing a wonderful job. And the shallots are still hanging in there, but I did pull the garlic. I got some broccoli. And my favorite tomato is acting like it don't love its life right here. So depending on how big the root system is, I might have to move it. Broccoli. And see, this is callaloo. Same type, but see how small this is compared to the ones over there? There's a lot of competition going on in here. And it looks like the cabbage is finally starting to head up. Before I go to the other side, here's another slicer tomato. I think this one is I think it's another red slicer. There's a Madame Marmande and a Mamie Brown. I think this is the Mamie Brown because the Marmande is on the other side. And this lemon balm is loving its life. And the parsley underneath is trying to keep up. This carrot is looking great. I haven't pulled any yet to see what we got going on under there. This is the other potato. The blueberries didn't really do anything this year, but this is their first summer growing season. This is their first growing season. I am getting a lot of flowers on. Yes, I definitely have to fertilize these. They're in pots, so you have to be especially careful about giving them the nutrition they need. And I come out here daily to pick off the cucumber beetles because they affect these plants as well. And I see spaghetti squash. I don't believe it was pollinated. This is the Casperita white pumpkin. And over here, the one that always looks healthy and green no matter what's going on is the, let me get this guy, is the honey nut, always looks great. And then right next to it is the spaghetti squash. And over here, we have the yes, so in here I had to think about it real quick. The red curry and the kusha squash. And like I said, that's the white bush pumpkin. So all those pumpkins are supposed to develop there at the base. It shouldn't like grow wild like these are. Yeah, so far it's been mostly male flowers, and the few female flowers that came out were on the red curry and the spaghetti squash, but not in the same timing. At least I don't believe so. So in my pocket, and I'm not sure if I'll get it done today, I have corn, carrots. Over where I took the garlic out, I kind of don't want to put the corn there because that would block all the sunlight in the evening from all the plants over here. Cabbage is finally starting to do something. It needs to hurry up. When I take the lettuce out, I probably will put a block of corn right here because it's not like it's going to shade the entire bed. It's probably the best bet. And I'll put the carrot over on that side and the beets. And my iron is low. I need to take some of that stuff in and make a smoothie. I think that's it for garden update. I have a lot to do. And I'll get it done with the free time I have this weekend, I hope. Thanks for hanging out with me. Excited about my eggplant. Y'all have a good day. God bless.